Hey, what's up? I'm Allie, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I am starting a vlog. I am actually in the middle of 2 books right now, so I do want to finish those before I get into the actual reading portion of this vlog. But let's talk about the intro and how this vlog has come about. Basically, about a month ago, I did a charity stream on my Twitch. And one of the kind of incentives was if we reached a certain milestone, my Twitch viewers could decide what my next reading vlog would be, or an upcoming reading vlog. We ended up hitting the milestone pretty early on, and I had asked for some suggestions for what, they wanted to see me read. Aspasia, who is actually a booktuber here as well, and whose Instagram I absolutely love. I love Aspasia, but asparagusisreading. She had suggested that I read books where the main character is a person of color. And yes, absolutely, let's do it. I mean, you should be reading diversely at all times, but why not make a video highlighting some? And she had actually so graciously given me a whole list of suggestions. So I have that here. I'm also going to create a graphic with her list of suggestions that she has. And I am so grateful, Aspasia, that you took the time to make the list. And I am going to choose, I think I'm going to start with 3. I think my problem is I always set 5 as my number, and 5 just has been quite unachievable to me lately. So I think we'll set 3. And then the other thing I want to do is, so I got that Roll the Dice reading list game from Fairy Loot, and so I want to try it. So you may have seen the titles I had written down as kind of a sneak peek. And interestingly enough, I have not read any of these. Some of them are already on my TBR. There is one that I really want to do. You Should See Me in a Crown is one that I really want to read. And then the rest, I'm going to let the dice game decide. I'm going to leave Aspasia's links down below. Make sure that you check out her booktube channel, but also her Instagram content is great. Let's go ahead and find out what my other reads are going to be. I have my list. We have the die. Let's go ahead and let me zoom in. Okay, let's go ahead and... Okay, so the first number is actually 5. And that is Counting Down With You. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is actually kind of funny. So this is the book. Oh God. So this is the actual book, Counting Down With You, which I literally just returned this to the library. Oh, of course. It's okay. I think I have it online. Okay. One more time. One more time, I gotta get it in the frame. The next row I got 15, which is a faux love story. I don't know what my camera is trying to focus on today, friends. So, interestingly enough, my camera is not focusing today. Interestingly enough, I had just returned Counting Down With You to the library. So I already know that I'm really interested in that. That is a fake dating trip. The only reason I returned it is because I've been getting a lot of fees because I haven't been returning any books to the library for like months. And they've been sending me letters, despite the fact that I work there, like, hey, you now own this book because you've had it for so long, and like, I don't want that. The other one is a faux love story. I've been seeing pretty good things about that. I think that one also might be fake dating. One of my favorite things to do while I'm listening to an audiobook is my nails. If you all didn't know, I do my own nails, and I had just done a fill, and I've actually replaced this nail completely. And I was reached out to by Nail Addict, and they were talking about gel polish. I'm always looking for new gel polishes, and they had asked if I wanted to try out their polishes, and I was like, yes, because they are vegan and cruelty-free, and also it's just really hard to find an inexpensive gel polish, so I really wanted to try this out and be able to review it for anyone else out there who does their nails or is interested in gel polish. And I did get a few of their polishes that I'm going to show you, but I have been wearing this for several weeks now. It's still beautiful on the nails, and I think the color is stunning. The only thing is that it is pretty thick, friends, but the thickness can be a little hard under the UV light. I had to leave it a little bit longer to make sure that it was really cured because it was thicker. And I will say they sent me their UV light, and I wasn't overly impressed. I do think it would get the job done if you were just someone who wanted to use it from time to time. But I do have a professional UV light that I use, so I just preferred my professional one. You will see on these samples that I did, I tend to get cat hair stuck in nails all the time, or I nudge them. These are just like color swatches for me that I use in my house, but I did want to show you this. They have a fantastic color selection, and I will be buying more from them in the future. I actually was really impressed. So if anyone is looking for inexpensive, vegan, cruelty-free nail polish, I was super impressed. I will have a link down below. Okay, let's do a little bit of an update. The first book that I started to read was Counting Down with You, because that was the one that I felt I was the most excited. What? Why are you coming in here as if you've never heard me vlogging before?
I didn't know what the fuck you're doing. Thought you were talking to me about some shit.
The thing that I started reading was Counting Down with You, because I thought that was the one I was most excited for, because I took it out of the library. It was a fake dating trope, and I didn't realize the book is pretty long. The audiobook is pretty long, and so I got into it, and I listened to almost 2 hours of this audiobook, and just really was not enjoying it. And I think one of the big things I realized was that pretty much all of these take place in high school. All 3 of these picks, I believe, take place in high school. And I feel like I've just been so far removed at this point that if like the main setting is the school, I'm just like not really enjoying it because it's been so long since I have been in that setting. I think the other issue with Counting Down with You is that it just felt very unrealistic to me, because it's like a fancy rich school, which is not what I went to. So it's very hard for me to see any of the things that are happening. There was also a bit of like insta-lovey going on, and the characters were just a little too over the top. They were almost like caricatures of high school students. So I just honestly wasn't really enjoying it. I think if I would have gotten a little bit further in, maybe it gets better. Again, I mean, I didn't really give this a full hard try, but I wasn't super impressed. So I think I'm just gonna drop that one and pick something else, because otherwise I'm just going to, like, I didn't want to pick it up, I didn't want to continue, and I'm just not going to make myself do that. So that one is just like, I'm just leaving that one. Maybe I'll revisit it at some point, but it's just really not in the mood for that kind of book right now. So that being said, I did finish You Should See Me in a Crown. I listened to the audiobook within a 24-hour period. I did my nails while I listened to it, and I was really excited about this book. It is one that I've been excited about, and it is about a girl who is running for prom queen because her school is all about the prom, which again wasn't something that I felt I knew anything about, because I came from a small poor town high school, so this was all like way different for me. But I still could connect, because a lot of the things that she was doing were just like assignments and band practice and things like that, and just hanging out with her friends, and it was nice. I enjoyed it for the most part, but again, I just not really in the mood to be reading about high school students right now, and maybe if I had read this at a different time, I might have gotten more enjoyment out of it. Right now, to me, it's just kind of, you know? I did love the end parts were so good. She is also gay and is afraid that's going to hurt her chances, but she meets this girl that she really likes, and it's about standing up against your friends. Even, like, when your friends think they're being useful, they're being helpful, but they're not, and they're actually being really harmful, and, like, standing up for yourself in those moments, and really being able to recognize that, and also just kind of, like, if you are that shitty friend, stop being shitty. So, but having to deal with that in high school is difficult, especially when, like, you might feel as if you are on your own. And it does deal with themes of grief, and it also just deals with high school drama, but there's a lot of other things that go into this, and some more serious topics. But I think, for the most part, like, the writing was great, the characters were great, but I think just my mood just wasn't, like, I wasn't there. So it's not of any fault of the books, it's just like that just isn't really what I'm interested in right now. So I think it's going to be probably like a 4 for me. Again, I don't think there's anything bad with the book. I just found it very right now. So I did think it was interesting enough to continue rather than counting down with you. So, but I love the You Should See Me in the Crown. I like how that aspect comes into it, and it was just really good. I can either start a faux story and a faux love story, but I do think I'm going to hold off on that one just for, I think, again, I think it's high school, but this one takes place outside of high school, so I think I'll be okay with it. Instead, what I'm going to do is pick up Blackout, which is a collection of stories, and I need a collection of stories to read right now. I just finished the one that I was reading, so I think I'm going to pick that up. It's also one that I've wanted to own, another one that I've had my eye on, so I'm going to give that one a go because I think I will enjoy it. So that's where we're at. That was a long update. I'm sorry. Remember how I was like, I'm going to read Blackout next? Anyway, instead I started a faux love story, which I realized that I was saying incorrectly. My ignorance was showing. I am apparently uncultured, but I ended up reading a faux love story, and I read it in basically one sitting. I don't have any footage from it because I just played Sims the whole time I listened to it. And it was so good. It does take place in high school. It is not a fake dating trope. It does take place in high school, but it doesn't really take place within the school, which I think helped me connect to it better as a creepy adult reading it, I guess. But it was so stinking cute, and I loved it, and I love that it did delve deeper into some topics, especially about families fleeing during the Vietnam War, and kind of setting up in neighborhoods and getting racist remarks, and how some people think that they can be racist towards, like, restaurant staff and things like that, and, like, so it did deal with some deeper topics, but it's basically a Romeo and Juliet retelling. We have two families that run restaurants across the street from each other, and they both tell lies about each other, but there's a much deeper reasoning behind this feud. We just don't know that. And the daughter and the son of these families end up kind of meeting and hanging out and end up really liking each other, and so they can't let their families know that they're hanging out with each other, but they also want to know why they're not really supposed to be hanging out with each other, other than the fact that, like, their businesses are in competition with each other, but, like, that doesn't explain their such hateful perceptions of each other, so it's digging deeper into that. But this was so good. I thought it just had enough tension in all the right places. The romance was really cute. The characters are really well developed. I loved the just the interactions between them and the friends and how this all played out, and I thought it was just really well done, and it was heartbreaking and touching at times, and you could really understand where they were coming from, and I just thought it was a really good portrayal of family and whatnot. So I thought it was a really interesting book, and yeah. I'm probably going to give that one a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really cute. So there is that. What a short clip I feel like to add in here as an update, but I'm probably going to start Blackout. I'm hoping to finish it today because I am posting this vlog today. So we'll see how quickly I can read that. I think it will be pretty easy because they're short stories, so I can just read a few here and there as I go. I meant to start this a few days ago and I just didn't have the chance to, so we will see. My hair is so long, oh my god. Okay, I finished Blackout and also like my third cup of tea. It's David's tea. It's the strawberry rhubarb parfait. So good. It's so good. You're only supposed to steep it for 5 minutes, but I don't listen. Anyway, I didn't realize that there was like a full overall premise to, I know like normally with anthologies there's like kind of an overall theme. This reminds me of one of my favorite kind of movie tropes, so I think that this would be an absolutely fantastic YA movie in the future, but that trope is basically where we're following several different type of people and their love stories in some capacity, and they all are connected in some way. Those are some of my favorite movies to watch, so it was really interesting because I don't know if I've seen it really put together in a anthology like this and done so well before, and it was just really neat. Basically, this takes place in one day, and there is a blackout that is happening in New York City, and each story is one by a different author, but also follows different characters who are experiencing the same event at one time, and I just really loved these stories. These are all Black love teen stories as well, and it was just so interesting to see the different characters, because some of them have been dating in the past and have broken up and are kind of accidentally come into each other. We follow one story where it is about a boy coming to terms with being queer. We have another story where it's about like confessing feelings for a best friend. Another one where a girl might be realizing that she doesn't need a boyfriend. There's several different stories and different types of relationships that take place here. So it was just really good. There was only really one story that I didn't really care for. I just kept finding that my focus was just wandering with it. I just thought that it was too dialogue-y. I don't know how to explain. I felt like I was almost being lectured at times reading it, and that was, I believe it was like, there is one story that is being told between each other story, so only one of them is like continuously happening while the other ones only take place once. But I think this is basically like the third story, and I just didn't really enjoy that one as much. There's one that takes place in a library that I absolutely adored, and then another one, it's the last story, and it's about a girl and a guy in basically an Uber, and it was just so good. It was so good. I really enjoyed it. I would love to see this made into some sort of movie, because again, it's one of my favorite like movie tropes to see, so I think it would be really cool to see on film. I was surprised by how quickly I flew through it, but yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a 4.5. Still up in the air, I think, just because not all the stories were like wow factor stories to me. They were good, but not necessarily always wow factors. So I think that is pretty good, considering all three of these books range between a 4 and a 5. They were either 4 or 4.5, and that is really good. Thank you so much to Aspasia for recommending these books to me, just letting me know about these books and to read these books. These are books that I've kind of seen around and have wanted to read, but this was just like that extra push to get me to read them. I haven't been in a contemporary mood, but all three of these were just so good that it didn't matter that I wasn't in a mood for them. I'm a big mood reader, and so that says something. I hope that you all have liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe to see future reading vlogs from me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!